Freeride blog, Matt Sterbenz here up at Hintertuxer Gletscher. Thanks for checking us out. Forefront for life. Check it.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about Forefront in general?
Yeah, so Forefront is a ski company I started about 13 years ago, and really it was just, at a turning point where, twin tips were considered to be a fad, right? So people thought that they were going to be accepted just like the little short skis were. And we believed that there was going to be a whole revolution in skiing. A lot of the youth participation had left and gone snowboarding, but they were really strong skiers. They just didn't have like a very good time skiing race skis. And so they decided to start Forefront to kind of cement change so that what we believed to be kind of the new evolution of skiing didn't just get absorbed and then pushed to the side from the European race brands. So that was really the whole ambition of starting Forefront. And then through the process of collaboration, how better to design skis than to work with the best skiers in the world and have them provide to them a complete toolbox of components that allow them to design skis and build them specific to their needs so that the recreational skier can experience the exact same feel that a pro skier gets out of their own skis. So Forefront was kind of started out of a necessity, in my opinion. And free skiing is now in a much better place because there's brands like us solely focused on it that are ensuring that this category of skiing doesn't just get swept aside like the hot dog era did in freestyle skiing back in the day.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about your first ski you built?
So I got into starting Forefront on the premise that I was a pro skier and didn't feel adequate support from my ski sponsor. So the first ski was just something that I needed to make to prove to myself that I could create such a thing. And with some maple, which is an indigenous hardwood in North America that I bought from the lumber yard, and a fence post, and some skis that I had designed from my previous ski sponsor, I was able to kind of modify this fence post into creating a counter mold to profile the wood core. And I actually never skied those skis, but it took about 2 weeks, to make it. But it was also one of the most memorable experiences. I have a child, right? And making that first ski and opening the press and seeing that it stuck together and it held a tip shape and stuff. I was so proud of it. And that okay, Matt, it gave me the assurance that I can make skis. If I can do it without knowing anything about it, how much more difficult can the process be if I surround myself with engineers and factories that know how to do this? And so the evolution of ski manufacturing came in, and then it really just became the focus was then on shaping them, and what different style of shapes of skis could we create to help further evolve the modern look of skiing. And now we've got contributing athletes with Olympic gold medals, with powder awards for their film segments that have completely changed the look of skiing and has kind of been a whole wave of evolution now. And it's all within the last 13 years. It's crazy.
Can you tell us in one sentence why everyone should buy Forefront skis?
Yeah, I can. Forefront skis embodies the spirit of free skiing 100%. And when you ski on Forefront skis, there's an emotion you get with it. And while bindings and helmets and poles may be considered a utility, the ski is something that you have a relationship with. And Forefront skis welcomes you into a tribe of free skiing, so that you are recognized and you are part of the core entity that exists within free skiing. And to me, that is probably the most precious community within skiing today.
Okay, and since when did you see a breakthrough in freeride skiing or big mountain?
We saw the biggest change of events in free skiing once the X Games started to position the skiers at prime time exposure. Oh. So the ski events of X Games was something that was done usually at the daytime when there wasn't national coverage. And throughout the process of slopestyle and halfpipe, the skiers started to warrant higher and more premium placement in the TV broadcast. And all of a sudden, skiing was one of the most viewed activities at the X Games. And the people at ESPN were scratching their head how is that possible? The snowboarding is so cool and all this stuff, because they're thinking X Games is surfing and skateboarding and all these other board sports, but yet skiing comes in and becomes one of the most viewed and spectated events at the games. How is that possible? It's because so many more people ski than snowboard or skateboard or surf. And so they can relate to it. They know what it's like to be on a pair of skis. And so all of a sudden, men's half pipe was the premium place on X Games. And I was like, this is not going to go anywhere. This is evidence of a long-standing evolution. And, you know, since then it's become the cover of every story. And so we knew that was going to be the case. So we set our anchor early to ensure that we were going to be here to help guide the sport into its fruition. And now, you know, it being about 15 years old, there's a lot of like incredible progression that's occurred just because we created a platform for these skiers to build on.